Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of RV Business Capital Talk, sponsored by Dicor Corporation. Sherman Goldenberg and me, Rick Kessler, welcome Loren Baidas, President of General RV Center. By the way, in a couple of months, Loren, you celebrate 15 years as president of the dealership.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize it'd been that long, but yeah, that sounds about right.
A dealership, by the way, that has 13 supercenter locations in, 5 states, I believe. Started by your grandfather as a gas station back in the 50s before it became General RV, I think 62?
Yeah, 1962 is when he first started everything, when gas stations turned into actually selling RVs, for sure, and incorporated the name.
And then Abe passed it on to your father, Dick, and then you took over for Dick back in 2006.
That's correct. Yep.
And
So
I'd like to just point out it's 6 states, Rick.
it is 6 states. I was going to correct him, but yeah.
All right.
He only has, this is the 5 fingers. So after that, you don't know.
You know us journalist types, we don't do that. Well, Loren, we thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We, of course, our first question has to be the new inspection facility right next door to the Hall of Fame there in Elkhart. Huge facility, 77 acres, 150,000 square feet, 20 service bays and 100 jobs. And I could go on, but what does this, Loren, what does this mean for the dealership?
Rick, we've been looking at this for a long time. I mean, it's been conversation we've had about how do we develop a better customer experience for our customers, and ultimately it came down to providing a better pre-delivery inspection on the products and handing a customer a unit that we feel a lot more comfortable won't have any of the major issues. Issues are going to happen. It's a house on wheels, but how do we limit the amount of issues that our customers are going to have once they take it off our lot? And and when you have 13 facilities in 6 different states, and you try and put a process in place, you try and do it as best as possible, but it just is never the exact same at each location. So, it just came to the point where we felt like we could do it more efficiently. We could do it with a higher level of quality and do it all in one location. And given that Indiana is where 90% of the RVs that we purchase are built, Indiana became the location for where we started trying to put this all together.
You're putting the word out that you're looking for employees to man that facility.
Correct. Yeah, we've already hired 22 employees that are starting there. We're not looking for 100 day one. We're going to do a slow ramp up. We're going to walk through all of our process and procedures, make sure everything works. And then once we verify those things, then we'll start adding employees as we slowly ramp up our facility. So we'll get our first one through. I think we're looking at Monday next week, first handful down the line. We really feel like it's just going to enhance the quality of the unit that shows up at our dealership that we're going to then obviously hand off to our customers.
Go ahead, Rick. Go ahead.
Well, just real quick. A lot of people will recognize the name of the person you hired to run that facility, Troy Bechtel.
Yeah, Troy's great. Troy's been with us now for, I want to say it's been almost 5 months. We hired him in and we already had our thought process on our process and procedure, and then he has just written and helped with all the detail of that. And obviously he's an industry guy that's been in the industry for a number of years, worked for a couple of the manufacturers down there. And we think very highly of him. He's doing a great job. He's been a great asset for us.
I probably shouldn't bring this up, but rumor on the street is that you got room for a full dealership up there.
We got room for whatever you want. We can put just about anything there. At 77 acres, we developed about, I want to say 45 of the 77 acres. So we've got the ability to have about 1,000 units in the yard down there that we can direct ship out to the stores. And that's part of the reason we did this as well, is with the locations to be able to ship units, real time to our customers, or not to our customers, to our dealerships, and get them there. So we feel like it's going to allow us to get even better turn rate when it comes to that. But no, we've been asked that many times. Our idea behind this facility is not have to do anything with the retail customer when it comes to delivering a coach to them in Indiana. That is not part of the reason we did this. Although the frontage on the freeway is fantastic, if it was in the middle of a big city, yes, we would say that would be a prime location for a dealership.
But as we had discussed briefly right before we started this video, we felt also that this was a great chance to talk, to bring, to catch up with General RV in how things are after this crazy year and a half, in the general well-being of your company. Tell us about that.
Well, in the last year, so much has changed. If you think about where we were a year ago, we were forced in a number of states to actually close the doors in the dealerships based on the pandemic and what the state's response to that pandemic was. Here in Michigan, we were one of the states where they forced us to close the doors. And to be able to have to tell your working family that they can no longer come to work, even though they want to, was one of the tougher things we've ever had to do as a company. And personally, for myself, some very dark days, having to do things that are 100% out of your control. Fortunately, we were able to work through all of those things, and we were able to keep our employees safe, come up with very good process and procedures to mitigate this pandemic and allow our employees to come back and earn a living. And when they did, our customers came back in droves, and it's been high flying ever since. You want to talk about a roller coaster from the highs and lows of kind of the last year. I mean, we're in the high part right now. We're seeing robust customer demand. We're seeing high traffic levels. It's like we've never seen before, and it's all good, positive. A lot of new buyers in the market. It's also some repeat people coming back and trading up. But the industry is definitely growing, and it's growing in not small increments. It's big increments. So it's a good place to be right now.
You're at a full 2,000 employees according to your release?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking for more. Our biggest problem right now, biggest challenge, biggest headwind right now is employees. Everything from salespeople to technicians, all the way to all the support people, to the porters, to high-low drivers, to service writers. We just cannot find enough really good employees. Obviously, we have a great core group, but when you talk about growing your business, on a scale that we've been able to grow year over year, you have to be able to add people. Otherwise, you just can't give the continued service that your customers expect.
We all just ponder that very statement you just made of how this could be with X number of, laid off people and unemployed and blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
And here again, who can find enough people to go to work?
Yeah, we're spending more money and time and energy and focus on finding employees than we ever have before. And we're not having huge success. We're having some success. We've added some great people, don't get me wrong, but just not enough.
Is that the case in every state that you're in, or some better than others?
I don't know if it's state by state, but it could be more city by city and region where we're in. But yeah, it's all of them. It's all of them. It's cross country. So everything from all the way out when you talk to Utah, to Florida, Virginia, Michigan, Midwest, it doesn't seem to matter. It seems to be the same.
Well, I think one of the reasons that we haven't seen your company in the news as much is that while some dealerships, US dealerships grow by acquisition, and there's always headlines that go with that.
Yeah.
You don't really, do you? You grow more, as the word, organically.
Yeah, different philosophies on what's important and what we think will have a positive influence and effect on our company. We could go out and buy 3, 4, 5, 10 dealerships if we really wanted to, but the general RV culture, the general RV support, and our staff, we want to do it what we feel the right way for us, which is, like the word I love that you used is organic. Is to, find an underserved market and put a store in and open up a store. And you saw that in our Ocala store that's been open for almost 2 years now. It's already one of the top 6 or 7 stores in the state of Florida in its second year. So those are the things that we look at and where we can have an impact. And we're going to continue to look at those things. We don't want to go overpay for a bunch of dealerships that, in a huge market that's robust, and in a year, 2 years, 3 years, the market's going to be different, and it's going to have its challenges, and we don't ever want to put ourselves both in a financial position that could risk a lot of things that we've built over these years and decades, and we just want to make sure we have the more attention to detail, and just because we're not in the news doesn't mean we're not doing anything and we're not focusing on anything. Our big mantra around here is to get better. So we're focusing on a lot of things around here that we want to get better at. And some of that's the back end side of the business. And, we started talking about the inspection facility. That's a big project. I mean, you talk about, of all of our superstores, which are some of the biggest in the country, and we've got lots of them, this is the biggest actual footprint, biggest facility, and biggest land acquisition we've ever had. So it's a huge investment for us. And again, it's not for, to sell another unit in Indiana. It's to help enhance all of our stores, and maybe someday help sell us a few more units. But the idea behind it, one of the backside reasons we're doing this is because our service facilities at all of our stores, which are big, our one here in Wixom has 40 service bays, but we're max capacity. We're out 2 weeks on service, maybe more. And we're in April. We're not even in the heart of the season yet. But by doing this facility, we're going to be able to actually pull about 30% of the work out of our facility, and put it in Elkhart. And we've now just created 30% more capacity at each one of our RV dealerships in 13 states. So for us, that's going to help us without having to invest in building more service bays and having to find more techs. We already have the techs. We're just going to convert our techs to be able to do more warranty and external work that our customers are demanding from us. So there's a lot of those little things that I think are going to be really good positives for us as a company. We were just at the point where I wish this facility, if I could change anything, that this was up and running, about 9 months ago. It would have been perfect timing. But it's up now, so we'll handle it now. But yeah, that again, we're super excited about that. But again, yes, it's not big news to do all that stuff. It's not flashy. It's not
Right.
You guys can't put a real good spin on the press release for that. But yeah, we're here. We're doing our job. We're getting better. We're having fun.
Rick, where are you at? We're in a home stretch here. What do you think?
Home stretch, maybe. Loren, how's the rest of the year play out? General RV in particular, but maybe even the industry in general.
Yeah, I think I think you talk to anybody, there's supply issues all over the place, and the manufacturers are dealing with it constantly. I don't know how they're managing it. They've got their own issues and problems every day, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. With high demand from our customers, which is not slowing down, to inventory levels in the dealer lot being as low as they've ever been, and our manufacturers not being able to keep up, because they have to do two things. One, they have to meet the customer demand, which is in excess of, I think, where everybody thought we would be, and they still got to fix our dealer inventory, which is too small And I think that's going to take some time. So I think where we're at today, I think the next 6 months is going to look very similar to where we are today. After that, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how quickly the manufacturers can get caught up, but I think it's going to take a while.
Loren, I'm curious, your field inventory, where is it at? Where would you like it to be?
It is, I should take the camera and show you outside. It's a lot lower than where we would want it to be. We have our certain goals for our stores. We are probably about 50% of where we'd want to be, probably even smaller, because our goal level was based on our sales volume that we predicted. Well, we're over our sales volume we predicted. So it's probably closer to 35 or 40% of what we would want it to be at this point in time, which is low. Again, it's as low as it's ever been, especially going into what we feel spring and summer are going to be the best spring and summer I think the industry's ever had.
It's amazing.
It is. Unique challenges. I think we're up for the challenges. I like these challenges that we're going through in 2021 in April than the April 2020 challenges that we had to go through. But sometimes you got to go through the hard stuff and the really difficult things to get to the good stuff. So it's time to keep working on the good stuff right now.
Loren, thanks for your time and your brain waves. Rick, sign us off.
Again, Loren, oh, nice cup, go green.
Thank you, go green.
Thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Take care.
Pleasure.